And we're back. Another episode of A Contagious Smiles Unstoppable with Victoria Cure and Michael.
The redneck.
And we got two dogs in here.
No, we can't say the redhead and redneck anymore.
Oh, Lord. Y'all, my wife done changed to brunette.
I'm not a brunette. It's not a brunette. I did not do that. No.
Some debate. Brown, maroon, black.
It's like a black cherry, right? Almost like a Marlowe black. I don't know. I mean, like, go big or go home. And what are your thoughts on it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my redheaded wife is no longer redhead.
What a dramatic difference. I was worried it was going to wash me out.
I don't know what that means.
It means it just makes you look like death, you know? Like you're just like a creep keeper. Like Morticia Adams. Like
she's hot.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Morticia Adams is hot?
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking about Catherine Zeta-Jones and Wednesday?
Of course.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I didn't say Wednesday.
Catherine Zeta-Jones only played Morticia in Wednesday. Angela
Houston. Wednesday, not the girl Wednesday.
No, Angela Houston played the original Morticia, or in one of the other things.
Who knows that fun little fact?
I do.
Good night, son.
So, my husband, I'm getting a little country. It's a little concerning.
You got a little country in you?
Shut up. There's nothing little about you.
Shut up. Oh, my God.
So, for everybody listening, my husband says to me today, I need to tell you something and I don't want you to be offended. Which automatically, if you know my husband in any shape, form, or fashion, is like, strap in, here we go.
Is that a fat joke?
No, stop. My husband is losing weight and he looks phenomenal. And then, you know, he has to go and make those comments. Anyway, so he says to me that he's concerned because I have this really big, huge heart. And that ever since he met me, even 25 years ago, you used to get mad at how people took advantage of me. Like you got pissed back in the day. You'd be, especially like, I'm going to say one word, you're going to say, oh yeah, Renee.
I don't remember her. I mean, I remember her. I can see her, but at the bar.
She was the one I always paid everything for and help her all the time. And I mean, you even said something to her and you're like, you work, right? So why is it that she's always paying for everything for you? Like, even back then, other people would, you know, like ask me to do things and I would just do it. And anyway, so you said that, you know, you're not going to switch. You're not going to change because that's not who you are. And I appreciate you saying that because there are times that I feel like I'm working 7 days a week and you'll attest to that, right? Like I'm in here every day.
Unfortunately.
And I am working. Even Mike Magniak texted and said, you do not need to be working 7 days a week. What are you doing? Like even Mike said this to me today. And so, you know, I'm only 3 weeks post-op from major, major, major surgery. And I kid around with my husband about it. And it's like, you know, the saying, God only gives you what you can handle. And then I'm like, is that now why I have a titanium spine in places? Because I just keep getting more shit. I mean, it's a valid question.
The question, y'all, I posed to my wife.
Carefully.
Is, oh, I'm sorry, Rusty. I just keep Rusty in the face. Sorry, buddy.
Rusty.
Don't tell Peter.
Sweet,
hey, buddy.
Sweet baby. I
was trying to move.
Is how you word this?
My wife has such a big, fat heart. And she's so caring and giving that she'll literally give the shirt off her back. And she devotes hours and hours, countless energy, and just will do anything to help folks. And she gets taken advantage of. Are you about to cut my eyebrows?
Yeah.
Get them scissors away from me, woman. And I absolutely hate that, y'all. How many of folks do y'all know that do the same thing to you? Right? They take advantage of your kindness. So my question is, how do I prevent that as a husband? How do I protect my wife from this? Okay, to me, it's almost a form of an abuse, right? These folks are taking advantage of my wife's good graces, good heart. Not that she's filthy rich, but she gives so much of herself. And I absolutely love it. People love it. People recognize her because of her big fat heart. And I always say she's got a big fat heart. And that's not a fat joke. But my wife is not going to change to please other people in so much as she's not going to stop caring and stop giving so that other people don't take advantage of her.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I don't know that we can change everybody out there.
You
know,
can't.
we try to help. My wife tries to help as many people as she possibly can. And oh shit.
Eva.
Sorry, y'all. I just crumbled a cookie for my dogs everywhere.
You have that.
Everybody.
Look at all this mess.
I made a huge mess.
Yes, he did.
This thing went everywhere. But I'm open to suggestions. I don't want my wife to change. She's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, and she's recognized, worldwide.
That's Rusty's.
Oh, I'm sorry. As Victoria Curie, the woman with the golden heart. And she doesn't ask for anything in return that I know of. Do you ask for anything? Hey, pay it forward. That's probably it. You see something, say something, help somebody else along. Listen to that neighbor, listen to that coworker.
But you gotta say, what makes my heart so happy is like, tell them what happened when we went to the grocery store after I had surgery, and like,
I don't recall.
it was Friday when we went in there, and like everybody, you're like, who goes into the grocery store? And people come up to you, like, and the sweet girl, I don't want to say any names, that was doing the bagging and stuff. And he gets in the car and he's like, oh my God. And he's like, who goes to the grocery store and has people come up and be like, hey, thank you for your help with this. Or now I'm doing this and I took your advice and now, I'm now trying to go on a register for the first time, or, anything like, and it's just because that's what makes my heart and life happy, is to see people get out of their comfort zone, believe in themselves, and take a step forward, because that's why the rearview mirror is so much smaller in a vehicle, because the past is behind and all the beautiful bright future is ahead. And to say something like, hey, you need to believe in yourself, and let's look at the very next step. And even if it's a baby step, it's still a step in the right direction. So let's look at it. Where does it take us? Where can we move that to? And then let's take that forward.
So yeah, that was my thinking on the way home from dinner tonight.
Well, and then I want to carefully mention this, and of course, as y'all all know, we are unfiltered and have this discussion. So, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh my Lord! If I can't cut your eyebrows, you're not cutting my cold blanket.
No.
Here, take that then. So let's talk about this for just a minute, because I want to. It's fine, OCD. So I want to talk about this for just a second. So our daughter came to us.
Who's off limits, guys?
Oh my Lord. Who?
She's almost 20.
One.
And she's off limits.
You don't even know her age. So anyway,
I was always supposed to. I'm sorry.
So as you know, she has gone through hell in a handbasket, and she says to us, she just has the biggest heart, and she says to us, there's some things I need to say to get off my chest, and I need to do them, and I need to speak to the sperm and egg donor. And she vocally went off on your sperm donor. So now I guess she feels like it's time that she goes off on my sperm and egg donor. So she reached out and texted them a couple of times, and they never responded to her. And she was like, they can't even send me a text. And it really hurt her. And the last thing I ever want to see is hurt her. And I always want to shield her and stand in front, as does my husband. So she asked if she could call. So she calls, and I am just dumbfounded. Like, what is your take on that conversation? You know, because I'm that protective, tigering bear mom that is like, I don't want her to go through any unnecessary life pain. I mean, of course, she's going to go through life lessons, and that's how you learn and that's how you appreciate better things in life. But I'm not going to like sit there and say, I know this is going to be a horrible experience and I think you should go. Like, that's not how I am. And that's how we both, you and I, have both ended generational trauma and broken the cycle on both of our paths of generational trauma, both you and I.
I want to see this tigering thing.
Shut up. You know it's there.
Tigering.
Okay, do you
You
not
make up more words than I have.
do you not think if somebody messed with Faith, hell have no fury? Because I might have black hair right now, but underneath it's still red. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have to say more. Drop mic. That's it. Like, seriously? No. No. And you know what? The judge said it best. This woman,
I got a judge.
besides all of her martial art training, is trained, and basically everything's happened in her life to her. Everything. Stabbing, choking, suffocating, you name it, everything. So if you don't think I'm gonna step in front and make sure that she's safe and okay, no. I'll never hit first, but I'll stop the threat. Period. Statement, and it's finished. Anyway, totally off the subject. Completely. I don't know why you went out in left field. But
Well, I'll add to that because my wife and I are always on the same page. This morning I woke up and, down there messing with the DTF printer for our T-shirt business, and I made some mistakes and got ink everywhere, and I went ahead and had to print out something real quick, and so I printed an image of Dad, which was my face, not my body,
Lord.
and my daughter, and I'm holding my daughter and I'm protecting her from looks like a gang of thugs in the background. And then on the other side of the picture was my daughter in Valkyrie armor.
What?
Valkyrie? Valkyrie?
What the hell is that?
What the hell's a Valkyrie?
Yeah.
You look it up.
No, what is it?
With fiery wings,
So, what is a Valkyrie?
fiery sword.
A Valkyrie is a female figure in Norse mythology who serves Odin. These
You
Viking warriors earn a place in Valkyrie.
Okay, Alexa, thank you.
You didn't finish the good part.
That's phenomenal.
Anyway, the caption said, I will always protect you from the world, but only God can protect the world from you. And my wife and I are always on the same page. We will stand in front, a bullet, anything to, protect each other, protect our loved ones.
Okay.
So you can finish. Oh, you want me? Oh, so what I think about dipshit and the response given to our daughter, or the non-response about what she said.
That's a powerful statement about family commitment. The threat provides relationship it does, but it's clear you value strong family bonds.
Alexa, stop.
Clear you value strong family bonds. Thank you, Alexa. Go to sleep.
So a snake is going to be a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A dog is going to be a dog, right? A narcissist, a control freak,
Manipulating,
right?
malicious, yes.
Whatever derogatory words you can come up with for him, he's not going to change. So,
how do you summarize the phone call? Because I know our listeners are like, "What happened when she called? What happened when she called?"
Well,
no names, but like, what happened when she called?
Me, I don't know. I'm more strategic and tactful. You go in
Tactful?
tactical.
You said tactful.
Tactical. You just don't hear well.
I'm deaf. What?
Really?
Yes, I'm 100% deaf in one
You
ear.
go into a battle prepared, right?
Absolutely.
Every day I strap on, right? I wanted in that one, didn't I? Every day I strap on my pistol, right?
Your piece?
And currently I carry a judge. And if you know beforehand,
That has nothing to do with the
what
listeners
you're going
asking
into.
what happened in the call.
Well, I'm trying to give the scenario, right?
So the answer,
We know the snake is going to continue to be a snake.
they
right?
want to know what happened during the phone call.
What as expected.
Well, okay, you got to give a little more than that. So,
His words are going to be venom,
okay,
right?
and
He's going to try to hurt.
well, let's dissect that for a second. So, the phone is answered, and it is so loud on the other end, and when you want to talk, I don't care who it is. Even when you get like an unknown number that you answer, you either mute the television, lower the volume, or if you're watching something, there's a thing called a pause button, right? And none of that was done. It was so loud on the call on the other end. Number one.
Number two,
Faith has changed her name, and they are aware of the name change, very aware of the name change. And she even identified herself by her new name. And the next two words were the old name. And that's just disrespectful. I mean, really, I believe it's completely disrespectful, right? Because, and you know, our daughter, who is a lot like me, is like, well, maybe they don't remember or they just forgot. Okay, it was 2 words ago. And if that's the case, don't call somebody by any name at all. Just say, yeah, whatever. How many times was the question imposed, why are you calling me?
mm,
At least 3 or 4, right? First of all, this is
well, that shows his mindset of, hey, every time I call somebody, I want something, right?
and then to be like, why are you calling me? Why are you calling me? Why are you calling me? What do you want? And her answer was, I just want to talk to you. Well, I'm sure your mom would not like you talking to me. And she said, no, my mom is very well aware of it and supports me. And then again, trying to carry control, you know, she was like, I'd like to meet face to face to have some words with you. And he was like, are you driving yet? Well, he knows she can't drive. He knows she can't drive. And to ask that, that's like asking me, you know, if I want to shake hands with my left hand.
Can you clap?
Or can I clap? Or, you know, can I ride a bike? You know, or like, can I shoot at the range with my left hand anymore? Or better yet, because I used to play pool, you know, can you still hold a cue stick? I mean, just these are things you don't ask, right? It's not like, I mean, it's a very painful thing to hear at that point, you know. And she was right on and said, no, you know, I choose not to drive, and the doctors agree it's not smart for me. And it was just one after another after another. And it was, how are you going to get to where we're going to meet? And well, she's like, my mom will take me. And immediate control was, no, that doesn't work for me. No. I mean, that alone is, I'm trying to take control of the situation, yada, 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 right? And then there's some paranoia in there because the question was imposed again to our daughter, are you recording this conversation? And she answered honestly, she was not recording the conversation.
Right.
So here you have your biological granddaughter who has overcome over 50 surgeries, who has beaten every odd that has been put in front of her. She was told she wasn't going to eat by mouth, that she would have a trach through high school, or at least all the way through middle school, that she would have a feeding tube her whole life, that, you know, this, that, and the other. Every obstacle they put in front of her, she absolutely came through it on the other side. And even to the point where a national news story was done on her and she got an Emmy for it. So, I mean, you talk about the heart and soul of a amazing person that really does not get enough credit from where it is due outside of this home. And then a couple of years ago, right before Christmas, like days before Christmas, she just said, I need to go to the hospital. And hours later, I'm being told, you need to call a priest first and you need to call your husband because she's going to die and she won't make it through the night. And as a parent, I can't even fathom imagining a day in the life without her in my world. I can't imagine it. I just can't. And I just can't. And so I said, no, she's going to pull through. She's going to pull through. And for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, I'm not talking 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We were at her bedside in the ICU when she was too fragile to even make it down to the OR, where they did at least 20 plus surgeries at bedside. And she was on life support. She was in full organ failure when, she was going to need a kidney transplant. We started that role of going down, getting ready to let me be a donor. We went through exactly. That's Rusty putting in his 2 cents. We went through everything to, get her in to whatever necessary means she needed. She coded multiple times. And then it wasn't a very short time later when, by the grace of God, she got better. Then we ended up going back to another hospital where they had to fix what the other hospital did wrong. And she required, it was like an 8-hour plus surgery. And then she gets into her room and she codes. And it's an 11-second event. She ends up being rushed down to ICU. The next day, she's back. She's off the ventilator, and they promised her she wouldn't go back on it again. And the next thing I know, we're coding again, and they rush her down for another surgery, and she's back on the vent and life support again. And this just goes on and on, but she never gave up. She never stopped fighting, and we stayed there weeks and weeks and weeks. Again, never, leaving her side. And to go through all this and to find out that both sides of our family, both sides of our donors, we could say that better, knew what was transpiring. I mean, both of them knew, both sides of our families knew what was going on, and not even so much as a phone call on either side, right?
Right.
And like when your brother got his ATV accident, we did everything. We were sending Amazon stuff down every day. We were doing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't ask for anything. Not one person on either side reached out to say, what do you need? How can we help? Can we just sit with you? Can we bring you something to eat? Can we do whatever? I mean, anything. I stayed. My husband would go home. It was a multi-hour drive to take care of the dogs and stay there for the nights and then come back. And it was so much on the both of us. And then here we are, literally possibly losing our home and everything else because we're up there. And you don't get free meals for parents or family, and it's $30 a day, and we're sharing a sandwich, which is not even relevant. We're just trying to keep going barely, and everybody knows, right?
Yes. What my long-winded wife is trying to say is during this whole time,
Neither side,
the egg and sperm donor
on either side.
advised us, oh, I thought I sent a text,
Oh, yes.
right, to inquire about our daughter. Well, our daughter now has reached out to them,
No.
and
Their granddaughter. You said our
Right.
daughter.
our daughter
Right. It just could come out different.
has reached out to them and asked for a little bit of time to talk to them face to face. And the narcissistic person is trying to maintain control and demand why.
And even said it is, your fault. That's how some things end up happening. And then said, here's the thing. Now she hasn't talked to him in well over a year because we've got no contact. And he says to her, call me next week. That's like something you would say to a salesperson, call me next week and I'll think about whether or not I want to move forward in sitting down with you. And he said, will your mom drop you off? She's like, no, my mom is never going to just drop me off. And so, and here's the reason why. Number one is that she has to be watched when she eats and drinks. And he is not trained on her in that aspect.
I wouldn't trust him if he was.
Right, but I'm still not going to. I'm just saying. And he's like, well, I'm not having a conversation with her. It's always having to have that control. Narcissists have to have that control where they're like, okay, here's the control. I'm calling the shots. It's going to be help me with this, who, what, when, how, and why. And it's all my decision. Like, it'll be at my choice of establishment, when I say I'll do it, how I say I do it, like, all the shots. And that's not how it is. That's not how it is. And to go through and listen to this, and then she's like, I just want to have a conversation with you face to face. And she goes, we never know how much time anybody has left. And then immediate on guard. What is that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say? Well,
Is that a threat?
right. And they're in their, they're older. I mean, come on now. Not to mention that we almost lost her. And for you to say that, I mean, if somebody called us up, and this has happened when we've had family on either side, even 6, 7, 8 hours away, call us up and say, in the middle of the hottest time of the year, we don't have air conditioning, in the middle of the night, we've gotten up without question or hesitation, and driven all the way down there to go get them. No questions asked, right? And then to not hear from somebody and then be like, oh, call me next week and we'll talk about it. We'll decide if I want to do this. If I do decide to do this, when and where, and I'll tell you all those information, but you can call me next week. And knowing how Faith is, she needs direct answers. And everybody who knows her knows this. So it was like, when next week? Oh, I don't care. But I mean, even if it's like an associate or someone you have respect for, you don't keep questioning the morals or the reasons. You don't show, like, are you recording me? Is this a threat? Is it, I'm not sitting here across from your mom or whatever. And it's like, she just wanted to have a conversation with you. And I'm supporting her, but if this is how the phone call is going to go, how do you think it's going to go in person? The minute she opens her mouth and starts trying to talk about her feelings, he's going to get up and walk away. He's not going to be told or talked to and said he's ever done anything wrong. Because from your side, my side, everybody who, is this way, if it's not advantageous for them, then they don't care.
So the whole thing with this podcast tonight goes back to what I was thinking in the car ride after dinner. We know he's a snake. We know how he is. Our daughter's not going to change him.
Nobody can change him.
Right?
He can't change,
way too old, way too set in his ways, and that's just the way he is now.
Okay, but what about your family? You think anybody's going to change them?
Well, we're talking about our daughter in this conversation.
Right, but I'm talking about not singling out one malicious narcissist. I'm talking about in generality.
Any of them. But she's trying to do something good. We don't want her to change.
No.
We don't want her to.
Because then idiots win, and
right.
That's not going to happen.
So what do? You prepare her just beforehand. Put on your armor because the snake's going to try to bite, right? The snake is going to be a snake.
Are you okay with her actually going to this?
His words are venom.
If you know that, are you okay with her actually going?
Who said I would be right there?
Well, I'm just saying. How do you feel about her wanting to go to this?
Well, I'll be right there beside her.
He won't let either one of us be right there. We're going to have to be like, he doesn't want us to hear whatever he says to her. That's what it is. Mm. He is not going to want her to tell us. He's going to tell her not to tell us. He's going to tell her he doesn't want us to hear it. He's going to say, if I'm going to do this, I don't want them within distance, or I don't even want to see them. That'll be part of it.
Mm. We'll see about that.
What if one of your family called and said they want to have a sit down with you? What would you say?
Same thing. Y'all going to be right there beside me.
But you would do it?
We are a family.
No. Right. But let's say your sperm donor called and said he wanted to have a conversation with you. Would you have one with him?
Oh. No, not at this point.
What about your egg donor?
Maybe. It's a big maybe.
Okay, and why?
I don't know. Just a big maybe.
Even after what she did to her?
That's what I'm getting at.
I don't care what she did to me.
If there's apologies coming.
You know there ain't gonna be no apology coming.
That's why I said maybe.
She didn't reach out when she was in the hospital. She didn't say a word. She never reached out. And to me, that's absolutely unexcusable. It's not, there's no excuse. When you're on the shitter, people TikTok, they Instagram, they whatever, you can send a bloody text message while you're on the damn toilet.
Yeah.
You know? But here's the thing, people can share, oh, my granddaughter's in the hospital, which your sperm donor and egg donor, not sperm donor, your egg donor did. But then, let's put on that narcissistic mask where everybody on the outside world pities them and feels bad for them, and they play the victim card while they're doing their thing, while we're the quiet ones in the hospital praying for another day with our kid. Right? And that's the difference.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, the black sheep, that is why the black sheep is the most dangerous person in a narcissistic family, because we're the ones who refuse to wear the mask. We're the ones who refuse to buy into the lies and the manipulation, and we carry all the secrets. I mean, like, you knew all the secrets about the infidelity on both sides of your donors. Now, I am pretty damn sure my egg donor never cheated. Like, never, ever, ever could I see her cheating on him, ever. But we all know about the extracurricular activities he did, and he used to use my daughter and I as his excuse scapegoat. And we knew all this. And it's like, we are the most dangerous, and that's why they try to keep us all away from siblings. That's why we have no relationship with our siblings. Me or you have relationship with, you don't have them with your siblings, I don't have them with mine. And they try to keep everybody spread apart. They try to, manipulate by saying all the harsh things. And then the siblings only get their side. But they're so brainwashed. And that's not a statement against them. That is not a statement against either a side of siblings, but they don't know any different, because it's like our norm, and I hate that term, normalcy, is to see, like, you made such a strong statement like a week ago, and it really resonated so much with me when you said, I lived in a household of infidelity. All I knew growing up was all the extra men my egg donor had, all the extra women that my sperm donor was going through. And growing up, I knew no different. And so that's why you had extramarital affairs back in the day, right? Because you knew no different. And that's not a derogatory comment to you. But I mean, when you grow up and that's the norm, that's what you see, that's what you believe is acceptable behavior, because that's what you are taught by the people who are put here to protect you. People keep saying, right, people keep saying, your parents are older, you're supposed to, be there for them, you're supposed to support them. And we hear it all the damn time. But what about the fact, at the end of the day, yes, we're still parents ourselves, but we're still kids to someone else. And how about why we made the choice to live life and not be consumed with narcissistic behavior, not be consumed with control and manipulation, not be consumed in a web of lies, because we have morals and values and beliefs. And because of that, we're the bad ones, because we're being projected as, wait till you hear all they did. Like, I know for a fact that it was, oh my God, this bitch wrote a book and it's all bull crap about all these lies about me and my wife and my son. But yet you read the book and the book is 1000% evidence. And the thing is Narc who's there, I probably had another 400 or 500 debilitating pieces of evidence, and I did not put them in because I never wanted to hurt my brother. And even though he thinks that I hate him and we had this horrific relationship or whatever, because he's only hearing it from one side of the family about, I'm this horrible person and I've done all these horrible things and, XYZ. And he's only hearing one side of it. I did not want, there was so much in that book that I could not have known had they not told me certain things, right? And all of it I have proof of. And what hurts me is that if he has read the book, which I know for a fact he has, what hurts me is that my donors have him so set in his way of thinking, because they had him thinking that, oh, I don't know how she manipulated that. I don't know how she got that. She must have, they can't say, okay, maybe yes, I did say that. Or maybe yes, I did do that. Or, yes, I did ask her to do a complete and utter background check on the person you were seeing at the time. And I lied to you and said it was an officer who did it because whatever. And the thing is that the words that like my sperm donor would say about him, I absolutely did not want to put those in there to humiliate him anymore. I wanted him just to see enough. And if he's listening to this isn't a derogatory comment to him either. It's not. The point is the minute, like a year ago when we talked to the biologicals again for a short period of time, again, here goes the sperm donor just talking. I had to get him another job because he quit where he was and he can't do it on his own and he can't even wipe his own ass or make his own bank statement. And it's like, do you not take responsibility for any of that? Because I have said from the jump, and my husband can testify to it, is that at the end of the day, my brother's very smart. He got his master's. He was, incredibly smart, but from the jump, he was not given opportunities that he should have been allowed to have and offered, And so because of the degrading and things of that nature, it's debilitated him in fashions that should not have been there. And it's heartbreaking. It really, really is. And, I feel bad because there are things that are not true that he believes. And I am not going to try to change any of that because he's happy and he deserves to be happy. And you have heard me say for years, not only to you, but to my donors, that he deserves to be happy. I mean, have I not said that?
You have.
I mean, he does. He's happy. He's married. He's happy where he is in his work. And you know what? I've wished him nothing but the best from the jump. And he doesn't hear that because he hears what they say. Mm-hmm. Right? But then how would I have known all the things had his parents not shared it? Right? But then they don't admit to it. It's all one-sided and it's always against the black sheep. And that's what's so screwed up in this world today. It's take accountability. I take accountability. Have I done things wrong? Absolutely. Have you? Absolutely. Did I do background checks? Absolutely. Did I do it at my own free will? Not exactly. I was asked and then I was demanded on to continue and keep going and going and going. And, and it was just like stupid at the end of the day. But I mean, it's like you really don't know how much manipulation a narcissist throws out until you really get an inside look, right? And then when you go back and look, it's like, wow, what I learned from this conversation is there's paranoia. There is, still a massive amount of I have to control everything. It's my way or the highway. Not once in the conversation was, how are you? I don't give two rat's asses, and I don't mean to be offensive to you, babe. I don't care that he didn't ask about you. I don't care that he didn't ask about me. This wasn't about us. It was about her, right? Mm-hmm. And not how are you? How's your health? How are you feeling? What are you up to? Have you written any more books? Have you, done this, that, and the other? Not one thing was, let me hear what you're up to. How have you been? And how's your health? Nothing to support or promote anything that she does on a daily basis. And she's a freaking rock star. She is amazing. She is my inspiration. And not one comment about, I'm so glad that you're doing well or whatever. I mean, the call was even hung up on. And it's just like, at the end of the day, I hope your Ben Franklin's wrapped together in a blanket, keep you comfortable and happy, and that's just it. And at the end of the day, I love our home and our life and our family. And the toxicity, is just that. It's toxic on both sides. And it's like now it just seems so much more where everybody cares more about what people they'll never speak to again, or, what social media thinks, or, like they care more about what the mistress of the hour, the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors of the day is, or anything like that, than what the people behind those four walls feel. And that's really sad. That's really, really sad. You look like you're ready for your next nap.
I haven't had my first nap.
Well, you took 2, 3
You're kind
yesterday.
of long-winded.
Well, I guess it's just because so many people are just like, but when you come after my kid,
Our kid.
I'm still red. I might have black hair now, but it's still red underneath, right? And it's like, there's no one has ever said that woman is not a protective mom, right? Because you can't. And it's just like, perfect thing. So our daughter, a couple of years ago, and my husband is going to say, "Oh, no, 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 don't say this story." My daughter, a couple of years ago, we were getting out of the car to go to her otolaryngologist, and she tripped on her shoe and got out of the car and hit the concrete on her knee and got a little tiny boo-boo scratch, like boo-boo scratch. And I mean, I'm a medical mom, and this was not a big deal. It was a little scratch.
Well, I like my gunshot wound.
Oh, jeez. So,
Oh, speaking of that,
prep me. So she calls him and says, "Okay, we're here at the doctor. By the way, I fell 1.6 inches out of the car and got a little concrete, scrape on my knee." My husband, this had to be, yes, at least 2 years ago, leaves work and drives to the doctor's office. And the girls at the front desk to this day laugh hysterically about it. And you show up, "Oh my God, my baby, let me see your knee." And her and I, and even the ladies behind the desk, are all like mouth to the ground. What the hell? So don't you dare tell me that you're not Mr. Protective either.
so about my second
Oh, dear Lord.
gunshot wound.
Okay, go ahead and that one's smaller than the first one.
It's still a gunshot wound.
No,
Back at the range again,
no,
right?
no.
I got shot again this week.
This one is smaller than the other one. This one's even smaller. This one looks like a dot from a pencil lead. Like dink, like a dink dink.
Here's the coincidence.
Oh, Lord.
The guy who shot me yesterday said I was there for the first time you got shot. I remember that.
You didn't tell me that part.
Yeah. He said, "I'm sorry I had to meet you this way by shooting you." So yeah, at the gun range, I got another ricochet. A shrapnel came back and hit me.
It's the size of a no.
In my other leg.
Oh my God. This thing doesn't even like.
But look, that one actually made a scar. The first one.
Do you want to compare scars?
Do you have a gunshot wound?
That's the only one I don't have is a gunshot wound.
Well, that's the only one I have.
Do you want to
I don't
compare
have stabbing.
like 12 stabbings?
I don't have any. So you can't compare.
That thing isn't even an exclamation point.
That's catastrophic.
Then what am I? What's all my injuries?
Global.
If that's catastrophic, what are my injuries and scars?
You're just.
Yeah, foot in your mouth, big size 15 shoe.
Hey, shut up.
That little tiny thing over there is covered by hair, and unless he moves
That's
the hair
what she
out of the
said.
way, you can't even see it. Pogo stick.
Okay, and that's our show. I'm gonna wrap this bitch up.
Seriously, you can't even see. I have to cut your eyebrows. Like they're
You're gonna cut
not.
my eyebrows.
You told me I could.
No, I have a little lady at the.
I'm gonna
pedicure
take
place.
you there tomorrow. Then, because
I'm not getting another pedicure.
Okay, can I get your eyebrows cut or off?
No, she plucked them bitches last
Then I'll
time.
cut them with scissors.
I'll cut them.
You don't cut them. You don't use scissors. You don't use anything. Those things look
I
like
use
caterpillars screwing.
I use an electric razor.
Is it turned on?
Are you turned on?
So good when I do them. They look so good when I do them. I'm grooming you.
For what?
For me.
Okay, let's not. Okay,
Can I just cut them?
tomorrow.
No, because what are you going to do the rest of the evening?
We spoke about a nap.
No. There's
It's
something
almost
else you shook on.
8:00 at night.
You shook on something.
I'm gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
So thank y'all for listening to Contagious Smile, Unstoppable with Victoria Cure. Y'all be sure to check out her book,
Oh, here we
Nart
go.
Nart, Who's There, on Amazon. Bye, y'all. Good night.
Good night.